Hi crafty folks, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I'm going to play with some shimmer powder two different ways. I have this brand new jigsaw stencil. This is part of the August release at a Colorful Life Designs. Have some inexpensive watercolor paper. Actually, this might be my nicer stuff. Honestly, I don't remember. Either way, I'm working on the smoother side. I have three colors of Nuvo shimmer powders. These are gorgeous. Golden Sparkler, Maroon Spark, and Meteorite Shower are the three colors that I'm going to use. I have this little spritz bottle of water, and here's a photo of the finished card. Now I'm going to walk you through the process and how I came to this and what I was trying. So recently I did a video, or released a video rather, of watercoloring with stencils. You can use pixie spray and put it down on watercolor paper and watercolor on them. Kind of very similar to this technique. And someone said that instead of using pixie spray, they just wet the cardstock or wet the watercolor paper, and that held on to the stencil. So I thought, I'm going to try that with shimmer powders and see if that works. Because, I don't like using the pixie spray if I don't have to, because, it's, a cost and it's kind of toxic smelling, and, if I can avoid it, I'd like to. So I wanted to give this a try. And right off the bat, I could see that it warped the paper and the stencil was not staying down. So I thought, not sure this is going to work. Now, maybe it works great with actual watercolors. Maybe it works this way too, and maybe I just did something wrong. Like maybe I saturated the paper too much. Either way, I wanted to try it because I thought if that's true, if it holds down the stencil with the water, then that would eliminate having to use the pixie spray, and that would be awesome. So I didn't have the highest of hopes as I was doing this. I thought, it looks a little bit of a hot mess. And then when I pulled it back, sure enough, it was a hot mess. So not great. Didn't really have the definition of the stencil. Apologize, I have a frog in my throat all of a sudden. But I wanted to try it nonetheless. And I might try it again. Maybe I just, like I said, did something wrong. So I cleaned it all off, sprayed it with pixie spray, pushed it down with a brayer. I have a new sheet of cardstock watercolor paper on the smooth side, and I'm going to show you my normal way of doing it. So this is my usual way with pixie spray in a spray box. Make sure you do it in a well-ventilated area. It is a temporary glue. So some people want to wash off their stencils. I get asked all the time, how do you get pixie spray off your stencils? I don't. I don't have a need typically to remove it. I know a lot of people have had luck just using like a dish soap or a washing up soap for my friends across the pond. But basically, they say that works for them. I don't ever remove it because I don't work with a lot of foil, so I kind of just leave it on there for the next time. I put it back in my storage system, which is basically protector sheets and black cardstock and a 3-ring binder, and that works for me. So if you do need to remove it, try a dish soap. Otherwise, just leave it on there like I do. It doesn't hurt anything. So you can see way better results. Now, I was kind of flinging the dye or the shimmer powder everywhere in this case because that pixie spray was really, really hanging on, and just something about the shape of the stencil. But you can see I did do monoprints on both, so I didn't want to waste all the extra. On that first one, I just kind of put a piece on top, and then on the other one, I used it more like a monoprint. And here are the somewhat dried results. You can see that pretty shimmer. Didn't work out great, but I'm not going to throw this out. I'm going to show you how I use it still to create a card. So obviously I'm going to use the really detailed panel for the background like you saw, but I'm going to store these away. I'll put them in my chocolate box with other background panels. I'll turn it into a card some other time, and this I'm going to use to create the sentiment. So I have these gorgeous dies. They have a shadow layer and the word layer. These are from Concord and Ninth. I absolutely love Concord and Ninth. It's one of my favorite companies, but I'm going to make it into a birthday card. Celebrate you. So I'm going to use the die for the letters and use this panel that just didn't turn out the greatest. So the colors will be the same. Granted, they're a little bit more muddled together and muted, but they will work. And then I'll give it some separation in the background with this scrap of black cardstock for the shadow layer. So I'm going to attach these two pieces. I'll attach the word layer to the black background. That'll give it some nice, distance and separation from that busy background. I can even kind of cover up the spot that got a little bit messed up on the panel, so it's kind of strategic placement there. But that's basically a way to use it up. So I do want to cut down this panel a little bit. So I have this really cool deckled edge. This is a nested die set from Craft Stash in the UK, super cool company. I'll link that below. Basically, I'll link everything that I use below. So if you ever watch my videos, and actually most crafters, they'll link the products that they use in the video description box below the video. So if you find the text with like the description of what the video is, you expand, you scroll down, that's where you find everybody's links. And the best way to support your favorite crafters or your favorite YouTubers is to follow their affiliate links. It's no additional cost to you, but it does really help them out because it gives them credit for the sale. So basically I decided the background here couldn't be white. I wanted it to be black. So I found some black cardstock, used that directly on the card base. It's 120 pound accent opaque. And then, like I said, this is watercolor paper. So it did get a little bit warped. So I'm using this tear tape just so it really holds it down flat onto the card base, since it did get a little bit warped. I'm using my pokey tool from my friend Judy to pull off these backers. And I'm basically just putting it all together. So this is a really fun way to maybe use your products in a way that you haven't used before. I know some people didn't know you could use your shimmer powders. You can do the same exact technique with watercolors. So there's so many different ways to use your stencils. So just kind of think outside the box. You don't have to just ink blend with them. You can use shimmer sprays. You can use shimmer powders. You can use a watercolor. So many ways to use stencils, which is why they're one of my favorite things in my crafty stash. And like I said, I do have a coupon, AmyFan10, so be sure to check out this August release at Colorful Life Designs. There's also 12 new bling colors, so be sure to check that out if you're into card bling. Just removing the backer here. These are thin foam strips. I think I got these from Simon Says Stamp. I do have other ones that I use all the time from Amazon, but I'll link those below. So I'm just going to put that down, and here is the glorious card bling. This is from also a Colorful Life Designs. There's over 100 colors in the shop now, which is crazy pants because she hasn't been carrying them that long, but I absolutely love flipping through these little containers. I also get these from Amazon. I've been using them on almost all my cards lately. So just figuring out what ones I want to use, flipping through my options here. It's kind of between that metallic rose. I don't remember what one I ended up using. I think I will show you in a moment which one I went with, but I just went with one color, but you could absolutely do multiple colors, or you could just do like a black. I did the metallic, I think it was Regal Rose, whatever it is. I'll link it below. And I'm going to put that in a smattering all on the front of the card. I have some liquid glue and my jewel picker tool. I'm just going to put these down in kind of an odd number across the composition, and that's going to finish the card. So have you tried this before? Have you tried it with just water? Have you tried it with pixie spray? Have you not tried it at all? Let me know in the comments. But that's the card today. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And we also have a Facebook group. So if you're into these stencils, be sure to find us on Facebook. I'll link that below. We have a fan group for A Colorful Life Designs. You'll see loads of inspiration from the other people on my design team, and I put all my projects there as well. So thanks for spending time with me. I'll catch you next time.